I even went bald to have this IVF baby boy. Yet when I was about to give birth, I suddenly insisted the doctor abort the baby. During a prenatal checkup in my previous life, my daughter suddenly heard the voice of the baby boy and publicly accused me of being notoriously biased. This made my daughter instantly hate me deeply. She ran out like she had lost her mind and unexpectedly got into a car accident. She was hit and died on the spot. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence, but right after that, the fetus immediately accused me in front of my husband of cheating. So my husband and I divorced right away. Then he married my best friend, who was also my doctor. I chased after them and saw the smug look on her face. That made me instantly realize she must have been secretly behind all of this. So in order to expose her scheme, I rushed to the hospital. Even though the baby was about to be born, I still insisted on aborting it. But during the abortion surgery, I suddenly had massive bleeding and could not be saved in the end. I died in the operating room from excessive blood loss. Until my death, I could not understand why the fetus helped my friend destroy my family. However, in the next second, I was reborn to the day I first found out I was pregnant. Just as I was thinking about how to avoid repeating the tragedy this time, the fetus in my belly again sent out the same divisive voice as in my past life. Remembering that my daughter had gotten into an accident because of this voice, I hurriedly covered my daughter's ears, telling her not to believe it, then quickly persuaded my husband to agree to abort this child. This instantly made my friend beside me extremely nervous. She hurriedly warned me that if I aborted this child, I would never be able to get pregnant again. My husband also thought I was acting crazy. After all this was the IVF baby I had worked so hard to conceive, but I knew clearly that if this child was not aborted, our whole family would be killed by him. So I firmly told my husband, this child must be aborted. At this moment, the fetus in my belly again sent out a voice, accusing me of being afraid my husband would discover he was not the biological father, and that I wanted to cover up my cheating, so I wanted to abort him. I knew this voice was deliberately trying to drive a wedge between me and my husband, seeing my husband starting to believe the voice and about to explode. To prevent the tragedy of my past life from happening again, I publicly swore that my husband was the biological father of the child in my belly and urgently demanded to go to the most authoritative institution in the city for a paternity test. When my friend heard that I wanted a paternity test, she hurriedly said this was already a hospital and that she herself was a doctor. She not only persuaded me to let her handle the paternity test, but also guaranteed the result would be more reliable than an authoritative institution. But in my past life, I trusted her too easily, and she used a fake report to deceive my husband. So this time I would never let her interfere again. But I knew that if I exposed her scheme directly, my husband would definitely not believe me. So I could only pretend to remind my husband that letting her do the test would definitely affect its fairness. But who would have known that just as my husband agreed to go to an outside institution, the fetus suddenly sent out another voice, accusing me of having already bribed the institution in advance. And when my husband heard this, he immediately believed the fetus again and planned to let my friend conduct the paternity test on the spot. I originally thought that as long as the paternity test proved the child was my husband's, the fate of our family being destroyed would surely be changed. But even when the report proved my husband was the biological father, the fetus suddenly used the voice again to accuse me, praising how charming I was, for even making my friend abandon professional ethics and help me forge the report. My husband turned to look at me with a face full of fear. He angrily grabbed my friend's hand and questioned whether this was true, but my friend publicly accused me of threatening her. I wanted to immediately get up and explain to my husband, but he thought I had truly betrayed him, and in anger suddenly pushed me to the ground, causing a carton to fall and hit my belly, instantly triggering a miscarriage scare, with blood flowing non-stop. But this time when my friend saw that the fetus who had helped her was about to miscarry, she was not anxious at all. She even seemed to wish that both the baby and I would die sooner. But little did she know, I would soon find out the relationship between her and the fetus. After arriving at the hospital, I had just managed to save the fetus in my belly, when I woke up and saw a nurse handing me a cup of water. At that moment, I suddenly realized everything, and immediately understood what was really going on between the fetus and my friend. So I immediately touched my belly, and secretly swore an oath that this time I would fight the fetus in my belly to the very end.